Have you ever looked at the cars next to you at a red light and wondered if you're winning or just running a race to nowhere? Maybe you're checking your bank app at 2 a.m., doing mental math, and praying that everyone else isn't secretly wealthier than you are right now. You see friends posting Bali sunsets or new Teslas on Instagram, and that stinging knot in your stomach asks, how do they actually afford it? I'm Alex, and I've spent years analyzing the financial gears of this country to help you build a fortress of wealth most only dream of. If you're ready to stop being a forgotten statistic and start becoming a financial anomaly, hit that subscribe button and let's get to work today. Let's get honest. Do you see a white picket fence and zero stress when you imagine the bank account of an average American family? Or is the reality a household that's just one broken water heater or a flat tire away from a total soul-crushing financial collapse? In modern America, normal has become a code word for being broke, stressed out, and completely exhausted by the endless cycle of monthly bills. Understanding these median numbers isn't about judging your past. It's about providing the clear navigation you need to finally escape the rat race. You wouldn't start a fitness journey without stepping on a scale, so let's find exactly where you're standing on the financial map today. Let's analyze the fuel for your engine, income, and see if your direct deposit is actually keeping you ahead of the curve or falling behind. Recent data shows the median weekly earnings for a full-time American worker is $1,100 or roughly $57,000 per year. Remember, we are strictly talking about individual income here, not the combined household total that includes a spouse or a side hustle's extra profit. If you earn $28 an hour, you're the middle of the pack, but that $57,000 is nothing but a deceptive paper number. By the time Uncle Sam takes his cut for taxes and Social Security, your hard-earned wealth doesn't just shrink, it practically evaporates into thin air. Depending on your zip code, you're likely taking home only $42,000, leaving you with $3,500 a month to survive the dream. Is $3,500 enough to thrive, or is the way the average person spends that remaining cash the real American financial tragedy? If those income numbers felt tight, wait until you see the absolute wreckage waiting in the average American's future retirement fund. We need to be blunt. This is exactly where the glittering American dream often takes a sharp turn into a terrifying, lifelong nightmare. According to the Federal Reserve, the median retirement balance for all Americans is roughly $65,000, which sounds okay until you dig deeper. Here is the kicker. Nearly 25% of the population has $0 saved, meaning 1 in 4 people has absolutely nothing. 1 out of every 4 people you pass on the street is walking a financial tightrope with no safety net below them. If you are under 25 with $2,000 saved, you are winning because you own the most valuable asset on earth: time. But as we move up the ladder, the gap between reality and security widens, especially for the 35 to 44 age group. Their median balance is only $45,000, which barely covers 9 months of basic living expenses after 20 years of hard work. By the time people reach 65, the median balance hits $88,000, an amount supposed to last for the rest of their lives. Using the 4% rule, that $88,000 only generates $300 of income every single month for your golden years. Think about that. 40 years of grinding and missing family dinners for an income that won't even cover a premium cable bill. Even with a paid-off house, how will you handle rising property taxes, Medicare supplements, or the skyrocketing price of basic daily groceries? Most people view Social Security as a lighthouse in a storm, but they forget the average benefit is only $1,500 a month. Trying to survive on less than $2,000 in this economy isn't a retirement. It is a daily, exhausting struggle for basic survival. The smart money treats Social Security as a bonus because counting on the government to fund your 20-year vacation is a gamble. You must realize the average person's plan is fundamentally broken, And continuing down this path will only lead to a financial dead end. If you're wondering why those retirement accounts are so empty, the answer is hidden in a spending vortex that swallows your paycheck whole. We have a massive consumption problem in this country, but it's not just about $5 lattes. It's about fixed costs anchoring you to the floor. According to the latest data, the average American household is burning through approximately $5,500 every single month of the calendar year. Over 12 months, that adds up to $67,000, which is $10,000 more than the median individual actually earns before taxes. If the average household spends $67,000 while the median worker earns $57,000, you see exactly why the middle class feels like they're drowning. You literally cannot survive as a single-income household at the average level in today's economy without falling deeper and deeper into high-interest debt. Let's look at the first heavyweight champion of expenses: housing, which costs the average household over $1,800 every single month. That is $22,000 a year just for the right to sleep indoors, excluding property taxes, rising utility bills, and constant maintenance. If you live in a high-cost hub like Austin or Miami, that $1,800 is likely a distant dream from a decade ago. For many families today, the cost of housing is now consuming 40 to 50% of their entire take-home pay before any other bills. Second is food, the silent killer, with the average family spending $700 a month while trading future wealth for fast food convenience. With inflation hitting the grocery aisles, most people feel like they are paying for high-end steak, but only eating budget-grade ground beef. If you hit the drive-thru 3 times a week because you're too tired to cook, you are literally trading your retirement for momentary convenience. Third is transportation, where Americans get car poor by spending nearly $1,000 a month on vehicles that lose value every single day. Between skyrocketing truck prices and insurance premiums, you are working to pay for the car just so you can drive to that same work. Adding up just housing and transportation puts you at $2,800 before you even buy a gallon of milk or save a dime. This big 3 trap is why people stay stuck. They aren't spending money. They are committing their future years to contracts and lifestyle inflation. Most have built a life they can barely afford to maintain, leaving absolutely zero margin for building the actual wealth they say they want. Now let's talk about the invisible number that dictates your entire life: your credit score, the ultimate gatekeeper of the American economy. Most people treat their FICO score like a high school grade they just want to brag about, but it's actually a financial cage. Your score determines the interest on your home, your car insurance premiums, and in some cases, whether or not you even get hired. According to Experian, the average FICO score in America is 715, which on paper is considered a good and responsible rating. It means the average person pays most bills on time and hasn't filed for bankruptcy lately, but don't let that good rating fool you. A 715 is fine, but the difference between that and an 800 can mean $100,000 in wasted mortgage interest. Now, here is where the story of the average American gets ugly: the massive elephant in the room known as high-interest credit card debt. The average household is currently carrying over $9,000 in credit card debt, which is not an investment in anything of value. That $9,000 was spent on past dinners, out-of-style clothes, and useless gadgets that are currently sitting in a junk drawer. Carrying that debt is a financial massacre, with interest rates hovering near 28%, lighting $2,000 a year on fire. That is $160 a month going straight into the pockets of wealthy bank executives instead of your own investment account. If you invested that same $160 a month into an index fund at 25, you'd have $800,000 at retirement. Instead, the average person chooses to hand that massive wealth to a credit card company in exchange for stuff they don't even remember. Credit card debt is the shackle of the modern era, a trap designed to keep you running on a treadmill while the bank profits. If you are carrying a balance, you aren't working for your family anymore. You are simply a profit center for a multi-billion-dollar bank. My advice is simple. If you have credit card debt, your hair is on fire, so stop spending until that fire is completely out. You cannot buy new shoes or go on vacation while your foundation is burning because you cannot build a skyscraper on sinking quicksand. We've analyzed income and debt, but if you want to know the real score of the financial game, look at net worth. Net worth is your grand total. It is everything you own, minus everything you owe to the banks and the government. According to the Federal Reserve, the median net worth for an American household is currently sitting around $122,000. But don't let that six-figure number fool you, because for most families, that wealth is completely trapped in their home equity. You cannot eat your kitchen cabinets, and you certainly can't pay for medical bills with your front porch or your roof. For those under 35, the median net worth is less than $14,000, a tiny cushion for a very long road. By age 55, it climbs to $212,000, which still only funds a very modest and restricted retirement lifestyle. But here is the fascinating truth. The bar to be above average in this country is actually remarkably low for everyone. You don't need to be a genius or win the lottery, you just need to stop doing what everyone else is doing. If you simply refuse to carry credit card debt, you are already mathematically wealthier than 50% of your neighbors. If you save 15% of your income instead of the average 6%, you aren't just ahead, you are lapping the competition. Driving a reliable used car instead of a $900 monthly truck payment is a direct ticket to an early, comfortable retirement. The average person follows a broken script. They buy things they don't need to impress people they don't even like. Winning at money is 20% head knowledge and 80% behavior. It's about what you do, not just what you know. When the herd is upgrading their lifestyle, you upgrade your investments. When they complain about the economy, you increase your value. You deserve the freedom to walk away from a job you hate and the peace of mind to sleep without worry. Use these statistics as your fuel, because once you realize how easy it is to beat average, the extraordinary becomes possible. The curtain is pulled back and the numbers are out. Now the only question left is, what are you going to do? I'm Alex, and I'm here to make sure you win. Subscribe now, join the community, and let's build something that lasts.